Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yasha Allah. All praise to Yahweh, Shalom, Mashiach, H.O.I. Shalom, everybody. Give everybody a chance to get on a little bit. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Shalom, Mashiach, H.O.I. Okay, I give a few of y'all. All right, shalom, sis. I give a few of y'all a chance to get on here. Salakia, Shalom OG in the building. OG is in the building. I gotta holler at you out, so we can catch up. No, nothing in Brooklyn. No, nothing in Brooklyn. All right. Brothers is doing it from home this year due to Feast of Tabernacles preparation. You know, everything is up nowadays, so brothers have to be a little frugal for the sake of Feast of Tabernacles. So Salakia. But I'll keep you posted on anything, all right? And we'll alleviate that in the future. But anyway, all praises, shalom, everybody. All right, I see everybody coming in one by one. Micah, Allah's in the building. Shalom, Ak. Oh, shalom, King. Shalom, Amina. Shalom, family. Shalom, Farah. All right. Shalom, Hana. All right. The family's coming in the building. Shalom, Ari. Shalom, Vashalan. Shalom, Aisha Yar. Shalom, shalom, everybody. So, okay. Yeah, I'll let you know, King. All right. All right, I'll let you know, King, about a Feast of Tabernacles in Brooklyn. All right. HYK in the building. Ha-Adam. That's what we'll call you. I will go by your Facebook name, Ha-Adam. Nah. All right, so listen. No folly. Shalom, family. Listen. So, tomorrow's sundown, we are at a very important time of the year. All right, if not one of the most important times of the year in the nation of Israel. So, like, y'all, I got to get used to these glasses, goddammit. I've been wearing glasses, reading glasses for the last about 2 months since the end of the summer. For reading, goddammit. I kept holding it off for about 5-6 years, but I need them now. So they're just reading glasses. I can still see y'all, but I need them for reading glasses. Y'all know I do my lessons a lot by myself, so I read for myself, you know. I'm not the type of elder that have to, you know, somebody got to read for me when I'm teaching, you know. I don't read, no, you know. I'm not on it like that, you know. I could labor for myself or I have 10 men reading for me. It don't matter. But that's neither here nor there. No folly, no folly. But listen, Israel, this is a pivotal, very pivotal time of the year. This is one of the most major times of the year. The Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. All right. Shalom. Hey, my public school friend. How you doing, Eunice? This is a very important time of the year. All right. Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. Or what the so-called white Jews call Yom Kippur, which is modern Hebrew for Day of Atonement. We say in the ancient Hebrew, Yawam, Y-A-W-A-M, Yawam Kippur, K-A-P-A-R, or Yawam Kippurim, Y-A-W-A-M, Kippurim, K-A-P-A-R-Y-A-M. All right. So like y'all, I don't have no fancy laptop screen to show y'all all that out. You know, y'all, I'm real old school, y'all. Salakia. I leave that all to all the other brothers with that fancy editing and everything. All right, I'm old school, y'all. Salakia. All right, one of these days I might step it up, Salakia, and you know, get on that laptop and show y'all all the fancy theatrics on the screen, but and the fancy editing. But Salakia, no folly. 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐄. All right, Day of Atonement. 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐄 would be Day of Atonement. Shalom, Daniela. All right, 716 in the building. Kwame Shalom. A very important time of the year, Israel. You know why this time is important? You know, that's why every year I try to go live before the actual Day of Atonement. Before the actual Day of Atonement so you can get your spirit right. Salakia, y'all, I'm a little late this year. I usually try to do it a week or two before, but damn it, I'm a day and a half before, technically, before the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement starts tomorrow, sundown. Now, Salakia, if y'all got an HOI flyer, if y'all got an HOI calendar, the calendar actually says Tuesday, October 3rd at even, but it's actually Monday, October 3rd at even. All right, I do apologize about that. We caught that this summer, but the calendar was already over the place, and I've been trying to announce it going along. If you haven't heard the announcement, if you made preparations, if you feel like we meant Tuesday, October 4th at sundown, and you're going to do it then, you already made preparations, then fine. But if you caught it in time, the Day of Atonement starts tomorrow, Monday, October 3rd at even, till Tuesday, October 4th at even. But if you already made preparations, like you took off from your job or whatever, if you already made preparations to do the fast Tuesday at evening to Wednesday at even, that's all good. You're still keeping it. You're only a day off from the calendar we have. And HOI, we're not proud. We're not going to say we got the perfect calendar. We calculate the new moons and the feasts to the best of our ability, and that's the dates we come up with. All right, so that was a small discrepancy with the calendar this year. Salakia, I'll take that on the chin because I usually prepare the calendar. Maybe when I typed it to the brother to design it and make it, I might have made a mistake and put Tuesday, October 3rd. I'm human, y'all. I make mistakes. Don't rebuke me. Well, you an elder in Israel. You're not supposed to do that. And usually I go over the calendar 3, 4, 5 times before I put it out. So we might have just made that mistake this year. We deeply apologize. I caught it this summer, but by that time the calendar was all over the place. You know, we could have done another version, but I just tried to update everybody. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on too long. We want to get right into it. So one of the most important times of the year, the Day of Atonement. This is when we fast and we ask the Most High to forgive our sins, and we ask each other to forgive each other, and we try to make it right and have a clean slate and be better moving forward in the next year. Whatever you're struggling, whatever your sins are, whatever your weaknesses, whatever somebody's mad at you about, whatever offenses you have between you and a brother and sister, this is the time to make it right. And even if you don't get a chance after the Day of Atonement, you can still make it right because what? You're trying to be better in the new year going forward. Right? This is a new year for us, a new year of repentance. It's not a new year, the beginning of the year around the Passover. That's the actual beginning of the new year. But this is a new year of repentance and a new civil year around this time of the year with the Feast of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, ingathering of our crops, Year of Jubilee, and all the civil things that go on with the nation of Israel that y'all can read about in the law. That's for another lesson. Y'all can read about all that stuff in the law. But tomorrow, sundown, according to HOI's, Shalom Kabash, according to HOI's calendar and calculation, once again, I repeat, like I reiterate every year, HOI is not saying we got the perfect calendar. We go by the new moons and the calculations according to our best of our ability. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. So we're not finna get proud and call nobody stupid because they got a different. Some of you camps out there need to humble your ass down before the Most High do it. A lot of you niggas are proud as hell. You're stupid if you got another date. And that's unnecessary. Akim is just a difference in calculation. We all rehearsing the righteous acts. But Salakia, y'all, back to our regular schedule programming. But some of you brothers out there are proud as hell, man. And the Most High going to break that pride. You're proud for no reason. How you know you don't have the wrong date? Calling brothers stupid, calling brothers out of their name. But that's neither here nor there. That's for another lesson within itself. Shalom, Sister Latrice. HOI Detroit in the building. All right, so today is Day of Atonement preparation. This is to get your spirit right today. Start from today, so you're going throughout this day into tonight, getting ready for sundown tomorrow. So this is just a little pep rally, so to speak. Tomorrow is going to be the actual lesson of the Day of Atonement. And I'm going to be live for that also. All right. I'll let y'all know what platform. I might be going live on one of the YouTube channels or either here. But we'll have announcements throughout tonight, tomorrow morning, etc. So y'all can catch up. But anyway, I've been rambling on a little bit, so let's get right into it. So first and foremost, y'all going to read Leviticus, the 16th chapter. That's y'all homework for tonight. Leviticus, the 16th chapter. That's y'all homework for tonight. Today, tonight, whatever, to prepare you. That's the main chapter that deals with the Day of Atonement. Now, I'm not going to get into that chapter here today. I just got I got a handful of scriptures just to prep y'all today. Get y'all minds rolling today, tonight, this evening, tomorrow morning, into the spirit of the Day of Atonement to get ready for tomorrow's sundown. If you're watching this now, get prepared for tomorrow's sundown. And tomorrow's sundown is the actual Day of Atonement. We'll go into Leviticus 16 and the laws on the atonement. I just got a few scriptures here to prep y'all for tomorrow. So you can meditate, you can be meditating on these things today. So y'all homework is Leviticus, the 16th chapter. That is the main chapter that goes into all the aspects of the Day of Atonement. Today we're just going to hit a few verses on fasting and the Day of Atonement in itself to prep you. So let's get right into it. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Salakia, y'all know I could be long-winded. But damn, Elder, you talk 10 minutes with no scripture. But let's get right into it, all right? All right, I know Israel bad. I know all y'all little slick sayings. But anyway, let's get right into it, all right? So the first scripture is going to be the law, the other law concerning atonement. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 26, all right? Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 26. Try not to be on here too long. All right, I do want to chill out and enjoy the rest of my so-called Sunday, first day of the week. So we're going to get right into it so y'all can marinate on this until sundown tomorrow. Leviticus 23:26, and it reads, And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. So this is our 7th month, according to the new moon on September 24th at even. All right, last Saturday, Feast of Trumpets, the high new moon that we celebrated. This is our 10th day. Shalom, 𝐤𝐄𝐄. This is our 10th day of our 7th month according to the Hebrew calendar. All right, it's not the 10th month as Esau would say, October. All right, it's the 7th month for us according to the Hebrew calendar, beginning on September 24th at even when we celebrated the Feast of Trumpets. So reading on, Leviticus 23:27. Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. The word atonement means reconciliation. All right, it means reconciliation. So what are we doing on this day? We are reconciling ourselves back to the Most High for the year. The Most High said, you know you sinned throughout the year. So now let's start over. Let's start a clean slate. This is a refresher. And when you know better, you try to do better. All right, it says, it shall be in holy convocation unto you. We supposed to come together in a holy convocation. But now, through the Spirit of the Most High, Yahweh, thank the Lord, we have all this technology. So we can still come together without, per se, physically being together with each other. So let's say if we do an online lesson and everybody come online, we're still having a holy convocation because we're gathering by way of technology. Technically, we're supposed to be in the flesh, but through the Spirit of the Most High, Mashiach, Yahweh, we still have modern day technology where we're still gathering. We're still having a holy convocation tomorrow at sundown at even. It says, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. So afflicting your souls means fasting. That's what afflicting your soul means. Let's go to Isaiah. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah 53. All right, and my bad, Isaiah 58. We're going to go to Isaiah 58, my bad. Isaiah the 58th chapter, all right? And we're going to start at verse 3. Y'all can read Isaiah 58 verses 3 to 7 on your own. Verses 3 to 7 on your own, but verses 1 to 7. No, matter of fact, 3 to 7 to get to the point. I'm going to just get to the main point. Isaiah 58 and 3. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? So fasting is afflicting your soul, pursuant to Isaiah 58 and 3, and also Isaiah 58 and 5. All right? Yes, Isaiah 58 and 3 and Isaiah 58 and 5. So y'all can read that on your own. We don't have to read the whole thing. Afflicting your soul means fasting. Denying your flesh of food and drink for a certain dispensation of a time. Or what they call a dry fast. Because some people do liquid fast. They don't eat any solid food, but you drink liquids. That's between you and the Most High. What type of fast you want to do on your own. But this particular fast is a dry fast. The Day of Atonement is a dry fast. All right, reading on. Leviticus 23:28. And ye shall do no work in that same day. No work at all is to be done on the Day of Atonement. Obviously, because you're fasting. You don't want to exert any energy on that day. So like y'all, move some things out of the background. I don't want nothing in my background but the bright sunshine. Salakia. So it says, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your power. Oh, I was talking about the work. All right. You don't do any type of work, no form of work on a Day of Atonement because, of course, you're fasting. You're afflicting your soul. All right. So 29. You know, on some of the other feast days, you can't do any work for hire. All right. You can't do any work for hire, meaning work for pay. All right. But on the Day of Atonement, you don't want to do no work at all. That's why it's best to take the day off from work. All right. So you can be home relaxing, praying, asking the Most High for forgiveness, getting in the spirit, so on and so forth. Leviticus 23:29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. That's serious, man. All right. And in this sense, cut off could be death. All right. Cut off could be the Most High just afflict you and punish you. He not dealing with you no more. He take his spirit away from you. Because now we're in a time of mercy now. So if you don't keep the Day of Atonement, which I don't even know why you want to take that chance, unless you got a medical condition or you got an emergency going on, whatever the reason, I can't even really think of a reason why you wouldn't keep the Day of Atonement except for a medical condition or, something you got to take medicine, you got to take medication, whatever the case may be. Unless it's something serious, Israel, I don't see how, you wouldn't keep the Day of Atonement. This is a serious day. All right. So it says, and whatsoever soul it be that doeth any manner of work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. So this day is serious, Israel. This is a serious day. The Lord said, if you don't afflict your soul, you'll get cut off from your people. And if you do any manner of work, you will be cut off, destroyed from among your people. So you don't even want to take that chance to see what that judgment is going to be. Do the Day of Atonement. Unless it's an extreme medical condition or serious situation, do the Day of Atonement, Israel. All right. You're only fasting. You're only denying yourself, denying the flesh of food and water for 24 hours. Right? Some of y'all can't fast for 12 hours. It kills you. Right? And remember, fasting disciplines your flesh. All right, it disciplines the flesh. It teaches you to have better eating habits and everything. So get into that spirit and don't just fast on the Day of Atonement. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Some of y'all act like it's going to kill y'all to fast for one day. All right, reading on, it says, ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. So you have this thing in Israel where we can't keep the feast days outside of the gates of Jerusalem. The Most High just said right there, in all your dwellings. Didn't the Most High know that he was going to put us in captivity, and in the future we was going to be dwelling in different lands scattered abroad throughout the earth? Yes. All right, so reading on 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. And we just read in Isaiah 58, verses 3 and verse 5, afflicting your soul means fasting. You're denying the flesh to build up the spirit. In the 9th day of the month at even, the 9th day of the month is actually the 10th day. All right, meaning the closing of the 9th day. As the sun is setting on the 9th day, you're going into the 10th day. So don't get confused. Is the Day of Atonement the 9th day or the 10th day? It's the 10th day, but it's saying it like that right here because the Most High wanted us to be strict. All right? Brother Hadam said, I have seen someone put to death because he said that he has a lot of bills and he willfully worked. This is very serious. Yeah. On the opposite side of that, I seen a brother be over righteous. The brother had a heart condition. A brother had a heart condition and he did the Day of Atonement and didn't take his meds, and the man had a heart attack and died. So listen, if you got a serious medical condition and you need to take your meds, all of you super duper Hebrew herbologists out there, you're not going to heal a brother or sister. All you say, you master herbalist, you Dr. Sebi Hebrew herbalist. And I'm not making mockery, y'all, but I'm just saying some of y'all, I swear y'all just got the cure to everything. Brother and sister get sick right now and got to go to the emergency room. You ain't got no emergency room for them to come together. Why you taking a white man's medicine? No, I got a herb for you. Just say, use wisdom in his captivity. If you're going to wean yourself off of Esau's meds and do the herbs, then fine. But you got to know what the hell you're doing. All right, some of y'all drink some damn peppermint tea and think y'all a damn herbalist. Some of y'all cut up, you got a piece of damn ginger from Moab, and you cut up a piece of ginger and boiled it in some water and drunk some ginger tea, and now you're a herbalist. No, Israel. You got to know what you're doing, like a Dr. Sebi or Brother Yaqui or some of these other brothers out here that really know what they're doing. And even them brothers will tell you, you got to be careful. All right, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So don't be over-righteous, Israel, all right? If you got a medical condition, or that's a heavy point. Brother bought out. Brother was greedy and said, look, I got bills, and went to work and got put to death. That's crazy. It's a serious, Israel, all right? You be the balance of what you're going to do and pray to the Most High, all right? It says, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall you celebrate your Sabbath. And that's what I was going into. When it says the 9th day of the month at even, meaning the closing of the 9th day into the 10th day. And the reason why Moses, the Spirit of the Most High, well, one of the reasons, the Spirit of the Most High had Moses, Mashah, write it like this. Because what? To show you that this is serious. As the 9th day is closing out, you're supposed to be going into your fast already. You don't even want to play with that. You don't even want to be trying to sip that last little bit of water in and it's dark already. You don't even want to play with that. That's why it says that the 9th day, as the sun is going down, closing out the 9th day, going into the 10th day, because remember, our day starts at sundown. You want to be getting into your fast right then. You don't want to take no chance of a morsel being in your system once it's already dark. All right, so it says, shall you celebrate your Sabbath? And there's also a Sabbath. The same restrictions of the regular Sabbath apply because it's a Shabbat also. All right, so from there, let's go to Numbers chapter 29, verses 7 through 11. We're just going to breeze right through it. This is just preparation to get you ready for the real deal tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, we'll go in a little bit more, breaking down the atonement. All right. So this is Numbers 29, and we're going to read verses 7 through 11. 29, verses 7 through 11. All right. And it reads thus and so. And ye shall have on the 10th day of this 7th month and holy convocation. And ye shall afflict your souls, ye shall not do any work therein. Notice how the Most High is repeating himself. All right. You know why the Most High is doing that? So you Negroes can get it. He got to keep telling our people over and over. So you might say, well, we just read that in Leviticus. Yes. Now read it again in Numbers. So you hard-headed Negroes can get it in your mind. Verse 8, but ye shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahweh for a sweet savor. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3/10 deals to a bullock, and 2/10 deals to 1 ram. And several tenth deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering of it, and their drink offering. So everybody know, or if you didn't know, you're going to learn today. Numbers chapter 28 and 29, those are the specific offerings that the Most High wanted on each day. All right, on each holy day, Salakia. Those are the specific burnt offerings and sacrifices he wanted for each day. All right. So in Numbers 29, 7 through 11, when we was back in our homeland and we offered the sacrifices of the Most High, every day of atonement, this was what was required. Beside the regular offerings that we did daily, this was required for the Day of Atonement. All right, so from there, we're going to go to the book of Esther, chapter 4. No, matter of fact, real quick, we're going to go to Exodus 30 and 10. Real quick. Exodus 30 and 10. All right, we're only going to read the 10th verse. Also, for homework, y'all can read, just read Exodus, the whole 30th chapter. Just to, just to make it honest. That's some homework for y'all. But the main point is the point of atonement is in Exodus 30, verses 1 through 10. But y'all can read the whole chapter to be on the safe side. But Exodus chapter 30 and verse 10. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once in a year with the blood of the sin offering. Aaron was to go into the Holy of Holies once a year and make an atonement on the altar. When it says the 2 horns, meaning the altar, all right, of the Most High, right? The Ark of the Covenant, all right? And it says, once in the year shall he make an atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto Yahweh. So every year on the altar, Aaron was supposed to, in the kingdom is going to be any priest. I mean, it's going to be the priests, the heads of the tribes. He's supposed to make an offering on the altar for Israel. All right. So that was once in a year in the Holy of Holies. All right. So that was on the altar, Salakia. All right. But anyway, that was once in a year that Aaron was supposed to make that offering for the children of Israel. Only once in a year, the priest went into the most holy part of the sanctuary, the Holy of Holies, to make an atonement for Israel. All right. From there, we're going to go to the book of Esther. Let's go to the book of Esther, because some of y'all ask, well, what is an actual fast? So we're going to go to the book of Esther to show you what a fast really is. Like I said, you have different type of fast. You have what they call a dry fast. You have a liquid fast. You have a half a day fast where you say, I'm not going to eat for 12 hours. I'm not going to eat for this time, but I'm going to eat for that time. So let's see what the Most High said, all right? What a true fast is, a dry fast and a true fast. Esther chapter 4 and verse 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. So what was going on here? This is the book of Esther, right? Queen Esther during the Feast of Purim. During the Feast of Purim, what happened? She was about to go into the Persian king, which was not lawful unless she was summoned. But she said, Israel is in a state of distress, so I'm going to go in to the king. I'm going to go into the king, the Persian king, and I'm going to ask pardon for my people. And if I die, I die. Y'all fast for me so I don't die. But she said, I'm going to go in anyway because we in dire straits. It's not lawful, but fast so that the spirit can protect me and that the king don't have me put to death for coming forward to him without having permission. You were supposed to get permission or be summoned by the king to come before him. But Esther said, I'm just going because I have to plead for Israel's case, that the heathen not be able to put us to death. All right, so it says, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. You see that? Esther said, look, if I perish, I perish. Although I'm going to go in unto the king. But I need y'all to fast for me. Because I got to be willing to sacrifice my life. I'm putting my life in danger to save the whole nation. All right, that's how our ancestors and forefathers and foremothers got down. We loved each other. All right, we loved each other, and we was willing to give our lives and sacrifice for the greater good of the whole nation, even if it meant losing our lives at the time. All right, but my main point I wanted to stress was, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. That is what is a complete, that's what a complete dry fast is, and that's what the Day of Atonement is. Starting sundown tomorrow, Monday, October 3rd, to sundown Tuesday, October 4th is a dry, complete dry fast. All right. Verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. So that's it on that. So just let you know that, a fast, what if Salaki, y'all had a brain freeze. Letting you know that a fast is complete. It's complete abstinence from food. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Complete abstinence from food and drink. All right. They did it for 3 days here. We're doing it 1 day for the Day of Atonement tomorrow. You can fast for however long you want to fast for. That's between you and the Most High. All right. So from there, now let's get into some other aspects of the fasting and the Day of Atonement. Okay, let's go to the book of Tobit. Okay, we're going to go to Tobit in the Apocrypha. Just some other aspects of fasting. And, you know, it's good to fast on a regular basis. And when you're fasting for the Day of Atonement, what you're doing, you're building your spirit up and things of that nature. So we're going to go to the book of Tobit, chapter 12 and verse 8. And it reads, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. See that? So, of course, along with prayer, you have to have fast. I mean, along with fasting, you have to have prayer, and vice versa. They should be one and the same, right? They should be one and the same. All right, who's that? All right, I'll answer that brother's message back another time. Salakia. It reads, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. So Tobit was just giving some encouragement here on how we should conduct ourselves in the spirit of truth. All right. But it says prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. So when you're fasting, it's good to give alms. It's good to get into righteousness, which is keeping the commandments. Fasting should help you keep the law better. And prayer, of course. So all this you want to incorporate in the Day of Atonement also, all right? Praying, alms, righteousness, you should incorporate that with the Day of Atonement and moving forward in your journey into serving the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. All right, so we're going to go from there. Salakia, y'all bear with me. Just a few I'm jumping around to. We're going to go to Sirach 28, 1 through 8. All right, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach in the Apocrypha, 28 verses 1 through 8. All right, yeah. All right, so now, the Day of Atonement and fasting should also put you in a spirit of forgiveness and asking forgiveness of your brothers and sisters. This day should put you in that spirit of, not only are we asking the Most High for forgiveness of sins for the year, for our past transgressions, but also for us to forgive each other. Whatever ought you had, or if any brother or sister had ought with you throughout the year, you want to make it right with them during this time of the atonement. All right. So we're going to Sirach 28:1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from Yahweh, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. See, Israel, a lot of times we want to get that lick back. You know, let's be honest with each other. We want to get that lick back. All right, because you figure, Salaki, y'all, you figure a brother or sister transgressed against you, and you want to get them back. But the Lord said, look, a lot of times you that revengeth, you shall find vengeance from the Lord. In other words, what? Like in a Lord's Prayer. If we don't know how to forgive each other, how are we going to ask the Most High to forgive us? It's just as simple as that, Israel. There's nothing deep, complicated to it. If we don't know how to forgive each other, how are we going to ask the Most High to forgive us? All right? That's what the scripture is saying. Verse 2, forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. And that's not an easy thing. I'll be the first one to tell y'all, Israel, that's not an easy thing. You know what I'm saying? I've forgiven brothers and sisters for some of the worst stuff. It was hard, but I did it. Because I don't like to hold on to no grudge, and I don't like to keep things going, because I feel like that energy stagnates you. That energy stagnates you from you moving forward. So I just let it go. Now, sometimes Israel, you know, it tells you a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. Sometimes the offenses is so hard, you like, yo, I don't know. Or sometimes you got to keep your distance from a brother or sister, or sometimes you just got to fall all the way back because, listen, this brother or sister is not good for my walk. They're not good for my salvation and my walk. So I got to keep them at bay. I got to love them from a distance, like they say in the world. I got to keep them at arm's length. There's no hatred or malice, and I may be very offended by what you did to me, but you still Israel. I got to pray for you, but I got to keep my distance. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, man, I forgive brothers and we move right on. Even if we're not the same congregation, like, oh, what's up, Bach? Everything good? You know what I'm saying? Some brothers and sisters, I had to keep my distance. I had to keep. Because a lot of times, like me, I use myself for an example. You know, there's a lot of jealousy, envy, competition, negativity in Israel. And you can't have people around you like that. They got that saying, keep your enemies close, and keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Hell no. I'm keeping my enemies far away, because having a person around you like that, they're going to try to destroy you. How do you really forgive someone? You got to let it go, sis. And you got to communicate with that person and tell them what they did wrong to you. And hopefully they acknowledge that wrong and they apologize, and hopefully you can forgive them. If they don't, if they proud, forgive them from a distance and keep it moving. The best way to forgive somebody is you got to let it go. You got to say, Most High, pray to the Most High, Yahweh, and say, look, I'm going to let it go. Now, whatever judgment the Most High going to bring on them, that's on them. Right? Remember, when you read 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, Paul said, Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his works. You can forgive somebody, but you can still say, look, it's in the hand of the whatever judgment they face for what they did wrong to me, the Most High going to deal with them on that, but I'm going to let it go. That's how you forgive. And we can get 1,000 scriptures on that. That's a whole lesson within itself. All right, but we're reading how to forgive right here. It says, forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. So, I don't want to answer the question the same way you saying it, sis, but that's really how you kind of the answers within what you're saying. How do you forgive someone really? You forgive them. You let it go. All right. But we're going to read on. Right here it's telling you. Verse 3, one man beareth hatred against another, and doeth he seek pardon from the Lord. So the best way to forgive somebody is by thinking about how you want the Most High to forgive you. Because what if the Lord held everything we did wrong against us? See, that's the best way for you looking at forgiveness. And it's hard. It's not easy, sis. I know it's hard for me, and I'm an elder. I got almost 30 years, 10 toes down in this truth. 50 years old, Most High will spare me, going on 51. But it's hard, sis. It's not an easy thing. I can tell you that from experience. It's not an easy thing. But we got to look at it as we want pardon from the Most High, but yet we can't pardon each other. So that's a big aspect of looking at how to really forgive. Verse 4, he showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself. That's another way we learn to forgive, because what? We got to understand we all in the flesh. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Y'all can write it down. We have to get it right now for the sake of time. This is just a warm up for the actual Day of Atonement. But the Most High said, how could you not show mercy to somebody like you, meaning somebody in the flesh? We all have weaknesses. We all have shortcomings. We all sin and fall short of the glory of the Most High. All right, it says, he showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? You want the Most High to forgive you? You want your sins forgiven, but you don't forgive your brother or sister? And believe you me, it's hard even as I'm saying it and teaching it. And I got years of experience in this thing. It's hard. But we got to do what thus saith the Lord. Thus saith Yahweh by 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐄. You're welcome, sis. I underbar. Sister Danae Nene. All right. You're welcome, sis. It's hard, sis. It's hard. It's hard to forgive when you're in a marriage, your spouse. You get into it with your spouse. You get into a heated argument. So, you have tension in the household sometimes. And you say, well, damn, you're supposed to love me. Why would you do something like that? Say something like that. Act like that towards me. Damn, you're supposed to be a fellow brother, sister in this truth. Why would you do that to me? Why would you act like that? Why would you be that way towards me? All right, reading on, it says, if he that is but flesh nourish hatred, and that's another attribute of forgiveness. You can't nourish hatred. You got to get that hate out of your heart and spirit, because it stagnates you. It don't allow you to move forward. All right. It says, who will entreat or who will plead for pardon of his sins? Right. So basically, forgiveness starts with the man in the mirror. You got to look at yourself. You got to look at, have I done things to other brothers and sisters? Have they done things to me? Have I done things against the Most High's laws? It may not have been towards another brother or sister. You just broke the Lord, the Most High's laws. And we know the scripture said, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves in 1 John. That's probably one of the verses we'll read tomorrow in the actual Day of Atonement lesson. But you looking for forgiveness from the Most High, but don't know how to forgive your brother or sister? You in the flesh, you make mistakes, you human, you've done wrong, and you want the Most High to forgive you, but you can't forgive your brother or sister that's in the flesh and make mistakes also? Listen, do you know I have people I don't even deal with, but I forgave them? I gave it up to the Most High. And I asked for mercy. I prayed and asked for mercy and said, Lord, forgive me if not dealing with them is the wrong thing to do. Show me. But I do see scriptures in here where the Most High tell you to keep your distance from brothers and sisters that don't mean you well. From unruly brothers and sisters. Disorderly brothers and sisters. Jealous, envious, competing, sabotaging brothers and sisters. That's a lesson within itself. The Most High said in Romans 16:17, mark them that cause division, all right, and offenses contrary to the doctrine that you have heard, and avoid them. If you telling me to rape a child, I'm not dealing with you. If you telling me I could marry a white woman, I'm not dealing with you. If you telling me we Israel, but we not subject to the law anymore, I'm not dealing with you. You still a brother or sister. You Israel. I have to love you according to these scriptures, but I ain't got to be around you. Because I'm going to tell somebody we can't eat pork. You're going to tell them it's okay to have bacon with their eggs in the morning. Pork bacon with their eggs in the morning. So the scriptures say avoid people also. You can forgive them and love them from a distance. I forgive that brother. I love him. I hope he repent in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and stop teaching our people that we don't have to keep the laws anymore. All right, so the scriptures do tell you about that. All right, so I've forgiven people that I don't even deal with no more. You know what? I forgave you before it happened, but I can't deal with you no more. Because, your spirit, you may go back to that spirit, or like it tell you in Proverbs, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. That was a heavy offense. I can forgive you for it, but I don't necessarily have to deal with you anymore. I can still love you and pray for you like I pray for my whole nation and keep it pushing. All right, verse 6. Remember thy end and let enmity cease. Enmity is like major strife, all right? Major odds, you know what I'm saying? Right? You have a serious disagreement with a brother or sister, all right? It says, remember thy end and let enmity cease. Another definition for enmity is strong opposition, all right? But the Lord said, let that cease. All right, it's hard, Israel. But you got to let it cease. Remember corruption and death and abide in the commandments. Verse 7, Sirach 28:7. Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. So, like the Most High tells us in Romans also, it said, be at peace with all men. And then in one of Paul's letters, I forget which one, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, be at peace with all men, especially those of the household of faith. Anybody know that scripture? Put it in the chat. I'm just quoting. All right, this is a short lesson. So, verse 7, Sirach 28:7. Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. Didn't Paul tell us? Shalom Adah. All right, didn't Paul tell us in Acts? Didn't the book of Acts or Luke? Didn't Luke tell us in the book of Acts that what? Acts, I think 17 and 30, the Most High winked at our ignorance. So now, are we not to wink at our brothers and sisters' ignorance? See, some of us, listen, we can't get on a self-righteous tip, especially around the Day of Atonement. So going back to Sister Danae question about, and I'm not saying you, Sister Danae, I'm saying in general. Going back to Sister Danae's statement about how do you really forgive someone? You know, and this is not to pick on her, but how do we really forgive someone? You got to understand one thing. You got to understand something. We all fall short. We can't be on a self-righteous tip. All right, Israel, we always want to point the finger. We want to act like our ish don't stink. We always want to act like somebody's so off. Y'all got to remember, we are in captivity and we have been destroyed as a people from the Willie Lynch letter up until now. So that's where that patience and long suffering and forgiveness comes in. Now, don't get me wrong. If you see continued behavior and it's just not getting better and you want to separate yourself from it, that's very understandable. But guess what? Still pray for them brothers and sisters that you separate yourselves from. And listen, you can't go wrong with that, Israel. You can't go wrong with that. But like I said, just using Sister Danae's question as a catalyst. Well, how can we really? I know what Sister say. I know what y'all saying. Damn, you know what these people do, what this brother did. But guess what? You still got to forgive them according to Scripture. You ain't got to deal with them. Now, if offenses have been to such a high level, you ain't got to deal with the person, but you got to forgive them and be at peace and keep moving. All right, that's what I'm saying. I totally understand. Separate yourself from people, from camps, from sisters, from brothers. I understand that, and that's necessary in this truth sometimes. But you got to still forgive and pray for the whole nation. All right. It says, abstain from strife, because strife only, Khan, forgive all thy brethren. Khan, Karadazah, yeah, Khan. All right. So it's hard, Israel, but you got to abstain from strife. Sirach 28 and 8. Abstain from strife. You know what? Because strife brings stress. It brings your spirit down. You know what I'm saying? You thinking about it, just abstain from that strife. You're going back and forth with people all the time. You don't want that energy in your life. You want peace. You want to progress. You want to move forward. All right, it says, abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. Because what? Strife causes you to sin. Don't you know there's a scripture in the Apocrypha that tells you the strife of the proud is bloodshedding. Strife can cause the bloodshed. It can cause you getting carnal. It can cause you to get physical. Now you've injured or hurt your brother or sister, and you don't want to do that in this truth. Nobody, you don't want to have to say I had to punch your brother in the face in the shirt. How does that even sound? You have brothers that have threatened brothers' lives in this truth. How does it sound I had to shoot a brother? Yeah, I had to shoot Ak Judah or Ak whoever, whatever, Ak Gad. I had to shoot Ak Zebulon. None of y'all get offended. That's those tribes. But, you know, I had to shoot that Ak. Come on. Yeah, how does that even sound? So, but the scriptures tell you right here in Sirach, the strife of the proud is bloodshedding. Strife can lead to sinful actions. So strife can lead to you offending a brother or sister. Offending is a form of sin. Strife can lead to you calling a brother or sister out of their name. Strife can cause you to do something wicked. You can sabotage a person's life due to strife. Get that person hurt or possibly killed, Lord forbid. So it says, abstain from strife and thou shalt diminish thy sins. And also what Sirach is saying, the less strife you have and the more you have peace with brothers and sisters, the Most High will start to forgive your sins because he see how you moving with your brothers and sisters. All this should be incorporated into this Day of Atonement, Israel. This is just a preparation and a warm-up for y'all to get in the spirit. Salakia. It says, for a furious man will kindle strife. You don't want to be filled with anger and fury all the time. Right? The scriptures tell you in Proverbs, make no friendship with an angry man. So a lot of you are angry, and the scriptures say, let not the sun go down on your wrath. You're supposed to incorporate all these attributes incorporate all these attributes into the Day of Atonement. All right? It says, well, I'm going to just read 9, even though I said 1 through 8. A sinful man disquieteth friends and maketh debate among them that be at peace. And a lot of y'all, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, man. A lot of y'all during this Day of Atonement, y'all need to reflect on how y'all be causing strife, man. How y'all be going, whispering, backbiting, murmuring, and you causing strife amongst brothers and sisters. You need to incorporate that during this Day of Atonement. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. So go from there to Matthew 6. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6. And we're going to read verse, let me see what I want. This is the extension of the Lord's Prayer. Matthew 6, verses 14. I'm gonna jump to 14. 9 through 13, y'all know, of course, is the Lord's Prayer. Everybody should be saying that daily, at least once a day. All right, if not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. All right, you need to be saying that Lord's Prayer. But 9 through 13 is the Lord's Prayer, but we're going to read 14 to 18, all right? And it reads thus and so. Matthew 6, 14 to 18. It says, for if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Of course, trespasses mean sins or any offense that a brother, right? Right. That's true, Sister Today. Strife can cause you to fall from the Most High's highest mercy and grace kind. Because when you have strife also, you're not showing mercy to your brother and sister. A lot of brothers and sisters I had issues with, and I cut it off, meaning I cut off the strife. I said, brother, sister, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. It's just best that we don't speak to each other. Keep our distance. I pray for you. You want to make 1,000 YouTube videos about me and post, subliminal posts, or maybe even direct posts, knock yourself out. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not going tit for tat. You can say whatever about me. I'm moving on. I forgive you. May the Most High have mercy on you. I'm not rocking with you no more, but I'm going to keep it pushing. All right. Verse 15. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So that's a big part of forgiveness. We want the Most High to forgive us. We got to learn how to forgive each other. All right. Verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, this is getting into fasting, how to properly fast. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. So when you start your fast tomorrow, sundown, look regular. Take a shower, wash your face. Now there's a debate in Israel whether to brush your teeth or not, because the water can go down. I'm going to tell y'all could judge the elder if y'all want. I'm going to brush my teeth, Israel. All right, and I'm going to gargle it up and spit it out. May the Most High have mercy. I'm going to be fresh. Now, there's a debate. I don't brush my teeth because the water might get down, or the taste of the water might make me lust for something to drink, but that's you, Israel. Now, if y'all want to condemn me, if y'all want to say the elder going off, but I'm going to brush my teeth. All right? So, it says when you fast, don't look like you're fasting. Look regular. Don't, oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, my God. You know, that's when you're doing your regular fast also. Everybody know we're going to be all fasting tomorrow sundown. Well, everybody that's keeping it tomorrow sundown, Salakia. You know, the congregations, HOI, and the congregations that have the same calendar to us, as us, like Watchmen and some of the, I forget some of the other camps. We kind of do the calendar together each year to make sure we got the same dates. But everybody gonna know that's fasting. You're gonna know you fasting, but don't appear. All right, don't be of a sad countenance. And when you're doing your regular fast, don't be like that. Wash your body, wash your face, and whatever. Do what you normally do. Look fresh. Especially the Day of Atonement, you want to be clean before the Most High. And then, you know, you keep the fast, you look normal. Well, a lot of y'all will probably have to day off from work or this, so you really won't be going out into the public too much. So you know you'll probably be home or whatever. But even if you happen to, let's say you just couldn't get off from work for whatever reason, your job threatened to fire you if you try to get the day off, they didn't give it off. But still, go out throughout the day normal. One day of not eating and drinking is not going to kill you. You'll still have energy to survive. You ain't going to be, I can't do nothing today. I can't walk. I can't. No, don't be like that. All right. It says that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward, meaning they want to be seen of men. Their only reward is outward appearance to men, not between them and the Most High, and taking the fast sincerely and just not even looking like you're fasting. All right. Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thy head and wash thy face and thy body and brush thy teeth. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to brush my teeth. All right. That thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. And to the people out there that don't know about the Day of Atonement, unless you're teaching them, listen to me carefully. Unless you're teaching them, you ain't really gotta tell them you're fasting. You know, unless your job say your job, if you off from your job, you might have to tell them you know, it's to use wisdom, you might use Amalek's modern day Hebrew. Yo, it's Yom Kippur, man. I'm keeping the Yom Kippur. Oh, okay. Even though Amalek got a different date, you tell your job, no, my calendar is different from their calendar. We do it this day. We do it a day or two before them. And they'll understand because it's in the same proximity. All right. But outside of that, if you're not teaching somebody about the Day of Atonement, where they can be forgiven of their sins, then you keep it between you and the Most High and the rest of the nation. All right. You ain't got to go out there to a total stranger. I'm so weak today because I'm fasting. It's my Day of Atonement. You know, no. All right. Look normal, look fresh, and, you know, go throughout your day normally. So let's go from there to Luke 17. All right, we're just going to breeze right through these. This is giving y'all some other aspects of what this Day of Atonement is all about. All right, this is a basic lesson. Y'all can go over these scriptures. It's plain. It's saying what it's saying. It's not that complicated, you know. And meditate on these things throughout the day. Tomorrow morning, throughout tomorrow afternoon, and eventually tomorrow night, you get into the actual Day of Atonement. Luke 17:1. Then said he unto his disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come. So Yahushua is saying it's going to happen. Offenses are going to happen. But woe unto him through whom they come. Woe unto the brother or sister that's offending people. So just because we got the Day of Atonement, some of y'all go throughout the year like, you know, we'll just forgive each other at the Day of Atonement. I'm going to just offend the hell out of everybody for the year. No. You know, and I want to take this time to openly apologize to any of you brothers and sisters here now, or anybody that see this video later, or anybody that see this video after the Day of Atonement. Just because the Day of Atonement passed don't mean we still can't work on healing. That's when you really work on the healing. Oh, damn, I didn't get a chance to make it right. Let's say you forget, you work, whatever you got, the Day of Atonement just come up on you. Then you think about it, damn, I didn't get a chance to, I didn't get a chance to resolve that issue with that sister, that brother. It's kind of hanging in the air. I heard they still got aught with me. You know what? The Day of Atonement passed, but like one year, it was a particular camp that we used to congregate with, but I won't say no names, but the Day of Atonement had passed. So they hit us up. They was like, yo, y'all want to do the next new moon together? Or y'all want to gather some kind of gather? I think they want to do a unity feast day with the camps or whatever. And we was like, we don't know. And we was not saying we didn't know because we was acting funny. We was just checking out our schedule. Like, yo, do we have something planned already or whatever? So the brothers came when they tried to do it like by text or something, I think. Then they came to the camp to visit us. And they was like, what's up? Let's do a new moon, whatever. These brothers was kind of like aggressive about brothers coming together. You know, they meant well. But we was like, yo, we don't know yet because we got stuff going on. Let us check our scheduling. If we don't do a new moon or gather together for something now, maybe we can do it a couple of months down the line because we got to check our schedule. There's not nothing, no funniness, brother. So the brothers like, well, damn, Day of Atonement passed. And brothers still acting like they got. We was like, no, brother. We know the Day of Atonement passed and we let whatever, if there was anything, I don't even think we really have nothing with the brothers. We said if there was anything, we let it go. We probably let it go before the Day of Atonement. So my point being, even after you atone, you're going throughout the year making things right with your nation and, of course, the Most High Yahweh. You know, I've heard brothers and sisters say the Day of Atonement don't have nothing to do with you and a brother or sister. That's really that day is between you and the Most High, which is true. But how does the Most High want us to be? If we're going to be right with him, how can we be wrong with our brothers and sisters? If we're going to try to be right with him, how can we still have it? No. So you're moving forward trying to get better. Even if a situation happened where you feel it's best for your spirit that you got to pull away from a brother or sister and not really play them too close just for your safety net, for lack of a better expression, you still, I forgive you, I'm going to pray for you. Some brothers and sisters in Israel I don't even talk to. But I pray for the whole nation. I might not say their name per se. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I say everybody's name, but I pray for them as a nation. And I want to see every Israelite win. The Israelite that hate my guts down to the core, the Israelite out there that think I'm the most off brother in Israel. Elder Zabach is wicked as hell. I still want the best for them because they're an Israelite. I have to want the best for them. I'm commanded by these laws. Now, if they evil and wicked as hell and the Most High going to judge them, then that's on them. It's not, I just got to back off. That's the Most High judgment. The Most High decided to judge them. All right, so take all this stuff in stride. All this. I'm just giving y'all encouragement to incorporate all of this spirit I'm bringing out. Through the spirit, of course, through the Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. This is nothing special about me. I'm just a vessel being used right now. I'm a mouthpiece right now. But incorporate all this into your Day of Atonement, sundown tomorrow. All right. Where we at? Luke 17 and 1 again. Then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible but that offenses will come. But woe unto him through whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he cast into the sea than that he should offend one of these little ones. Moses said, look, man, you better off taking a millstone and cast it around your neck and drop it in the sea. You know, of course, if you do that, you're going to die. You're going to drown in the sea. Even if you know how to swim, that millstone on your neck is going to keep you from, you're going to be under that water forever. You're going to drown. The Most High said it's better for that to happen to you because if you offend one of these little ones, the little ones meaning the nation of Israel, if you offend one of these, any of these little, especially any of these little ones that are of the 144,000 or the 1/3 that the Most High is dealing with, let's try not to offend any of our people out there. All right, but if you offend any of these little ones, it's greater than that it's better that that millstone be about your neck. You know why? Because the judgment that the Most High can bring upon you can be the most torturous thing you ever been through. That's how serious the Lord take this. We should not offend each other. We should be uplifting each other, loving each other. seeing each other win, wanting the best for each other. Even if we're not in the same camp. Like we have camp banging, we have camp hating. Don't you know another camp? And I'm going to start getting out of the term camp because that term has a negative connotation to it. Meaning I'm going to stop getting out of it when it comes to congregations. I'll use camp till Yahweh come back. I don't give a damn who don't like it. But congregations, all right? If you see another Israelite congregation and they doing good, rejoice. That's your people. That's your nation. Now, they might be on some, we're not affiliated with nobody else. They might be a little bit puffed up and proud, but guess what? Those are Israelites doing good. What, you want to see the heathen do good? And every time we do good and prosper, it brings the heathen down a notch. All right, so don't trip on that, Israel. These are all things to incorporate into this Day of Atonement. See your nation win, man. See your nation win and you win. All right, I ain't got no problem per se with any Israelite out here. I can boldly say that. On this Day of Atonement Eve, I can clearly say I got no issue with no Israelite out there on the planet. They might got an issue with me, but I ain't got no issue with them. Because whatever the issue was, either I resolved it or I prayed to the Most High and I let it go and I kept it moving. It's in the hands of the Most High now. All right, so verse 3, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him, and if he repent, forgive him. That's clear. That's clear right there, Israel. Rebuke your neighbor if you repent sincerely. I ain't going to do that again. You will never see that happen again. Salakia. Then you got to forgive him. And if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again to thee, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him. So any brother or sister that sincerely repents, you got to forgive them. That's scripture. That's not me. So incorporate all that into the spirit of the Day of Atonement, Israel. Let's go from there to Matthew 17, 14 through 21. We just jumping around here. All right. Getting some of this other understanding and aspect you got to get on this Day of Atonement. All right. Luke 17 and 14. Matthew, my bad. Matthew 17 and 14. It says, and when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into the fire and off into the water. This, I believe when you read about this brother had epilepsy. What we call, this is epilepsy, all right, out of the scriptures. This was a brother that he would have epileptic fits. All right, and he would throw himself into the water, fire, whatever. He would just, you know how people with epilepsy, they try to swallow their tongue and they have fits and they, you know what I'm saying? So this was, I believe this brother was an epileptic, all right? He had epilepsy, all right? All right, epilepsy, right? Tomato, salakia, y'all. And I brought him to thy disciples and they could not cure him. They couldn't cure his epilepsy, all right? And it said, then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, meaning y'all couldn't heal him because y'all didn't have no faith. Y'all didn't think y'all could heal him. How long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. Yahushua said, bring this cat over here, man. Y'all got to increase your faith, man. Y'all didn't heal him because y'all didn't think y'all could heal him. All right? And Yahushua rebuked the devil and departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could we not cast him out? Meaning, why we couldn't cast that demon, that spirit out of him that was causing him to have the epilepsy. Verse 20, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, because your lack of faith. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove. And nothing shall be impossible unto you. The grain of a mustard seed, if you got that much faith, you can move mountains. Y'all know the saying, move mountains. All right, meaning you can do major things through the faith of Yahweh and Yahushua. Verse 21, howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. Meaning what? Some demons are so heavy, and some power that the Most High give you, it can only come through prayer and fasting. Right? That's what Yahweh told him. So fasting brings you on a level of spiritual power. It gives you the power to pray for people and they be healed. Hey, Shalom, Midwest is in the building. Good. Shalom, everybody. HOI, Midwest is in the building. Love y'all. All right. Hope everybody is well. 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐄, happy Day of Atonement. Pre-Day of Atonement. Preparation. Pep talk. Pep rally. Salakia, no folly. Verse 21, howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So Yahweh Shah is letting us know, in order, y'all can write down Tobit 12 and 8 too. Matthew 17:21. Matter of fact, I'm going to mark my Bible myself. That just came to me in the spirit. That was one of the first scriptures we read. Tobit 12 and 8. If y'all just coming on, go back to the playback and to the beginning of the lesson, whatever you missed. All right. But, Salakia, howbeit, again, Matthew 17:21. Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. So what do we read in Tobit 12 and 8? Prayer is good with fasting. They work hand in hand. So that don't mean every time every time you praying, you got to be on a fast. No. So you're not going to fast the whole year every day. Unless you just, damn, Superman, super Hebrew man, super Hebrew woman. But they're synonymous with us. They're synonymous with each other. You're doing a lot of praying. I mean, you're fasting. You should be doing a lot of prayer throughout your fasting. A good thing to do if y'all got Shalom Allah. If y'all have the day off for the Day of Atonement, and you're going to be home, of course, you should be like praying every hour on an hour. I'm not telling y'all that's what y'all have to do. Some of y'all might pray every 3 hours, whatever, but try to incorporate like praying every hour on an hour. All right, just send every hour, send up a quick prayer. Or every 2 hours or every 3 hours, however you do it. Or 7 times throughout the Day of Atonement. Or if you do it 3 times, I don't know. All right, I can't put a number on anybody's time that they should pray. It should be at least 3 times a day. But on a Day of Atonement, try to incorporate as much prayer as you can with your fasting. All right. So that's Matthew 17:21 with Tobit 12 and 8. Fasting and prayer, especially prayer, works synonymous with fasting. Okay. So some of y'all, another thing too, man, some of y'all complain about fasting and meditation, of course, brother. Some of y'all complain about fasting. Look, y'all need to fast not only on the Day of Atonement, but also fast on regular times also. Don't just wait for the Day of Atonement. Then some of y'all haven't fasted throughout the year, so you weak on it. You can't fast on the Day of Atonement. You get weak. Oh man, I gotta fast, and oh my God, One time, a brother, we was about to do a Day of Atonement. It was drizzling a little bit, and a brother, just because it drizzled and we got caught in the rain a little bit, it was light rain, and the brother, I'm thinking I'm getting sick, brother. If I get sick, I can't keep the fast, brother. That's between you and the Most High. He was trying to act like he was sick to justify to me that he's not going to keep the Day of Atonement. I said, brother, damn, 7 raindrops got on you. Light rain at that. It wasn't pouring rain and we got soaking wet. And we was on our way to a brother's house to do the Day of Atonement service. Brother, I think I'm getting sick, King. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the fast. I'm not the Most High, brother. I'm not Yahweh Shah. If you feel you're about to get sick and you're going to have to take some medicine and you can't do the fast, even though I believe you're lying like hell, you just greedy as hell and you don't want to fast for 24 hours, that's on you. Now, if y'all want to take that chance on the Day of Atonement and not fast, we read in Leviticus 23, the Most High don't play with this day. So that's on y'all. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm here this Sunday afternoon, evening for some of y'all, whatever time zone you in, late afternoon, whatever, just to be a messenger. That's it. Right? To just prep y'all and get y'all in that spirit of the Day of Atonement. That's it. So between today, tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, if you go back over this lesson, it'll give you some pointers on going into that true spirit of the atonement tomorrow sundown. That's all I'm here for, Israel. All right, don't shoot the messenger. All right, 2 Corinthians, you don't have to try to justify to me, you know, that you're not going to keep the fast. All right, I'm not the Most High Yahweh. Am I elder? Yes. Am I going to encourage you? Yes. If you come in with a BS excuse, am I going to say, brother, you don't want to do that because you can get jacked up by the Most High? But that's on you. All right. So 2 Corinthians 11, 22 through 27. Yeah. 2 Corinthians 11. Salakia. 2 Corinthians 11, verses 22 to 27. Salakia. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. So all that about Paul was a Roman, that's cut right there. You Christians, you have no understanding of these scriptures. Paul is letting you know right here, he's a Hebrew Israelite. And in Romans, he got more explicit and said, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. All right, verse 23. Are they ministers of Yahweh? I speak as a fool, in parentheses. Paul is saying, like he said, I think in another part of Corinthians, he said, I'm going to come to some foolish boasting. So the reason why he said that, Paul said that for the sake of humility, because he was saying, listen, I'm about to brag on myself, but I speak as a fool, meaning I'm about to get into some foolish boasting. That's all. He was just saying that for the sake of humility. I know I'm foolish for this because it's not about me, it's about the Most High Yahweh, but I'm going to brag on myself a little bit. All right, but he was still humble about it. He said, are they ministers of Yahweh? I am more. Because Paul received the generic title of the chiefest apostle. All right. And he gave himself that title through foolish boasting. All right. And labor's more abundant. Paul said, look, I became one of the top laborers, if not the top laborer. All right. And stripes above measure. Look, I suffered whippings, beatings, imprisonment, everything for this truth. All right, Salakia. In prisons more frequent, right? I've been locked up damn near more than y'all for this truth, right? I feel like Paul now, too. I've been locked up so many damn times for this truth, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s when we had that crazy first HOI camp. Them brothers, man, I labored among some warrior brothers, man. Them brothers did not let nothing happen to the camp. They didn't let nothing happen to me because I was... Of course, I was the smallest brother in the camp with the biggest mouth. They was like, we going to kill that little nigga right there. Cutting the hell out of them with these scriptures and with common sense and clowning them through the spirit of the Most High Yahweh. Not to brag on myself. I speak as a fool. But we was locked up a lot of times, man. Bell, assaults, Rikers Island, Brooklyn House, Manhattan House. You name it, man. You know what I'm saying? But it never got no serious time. We went on trial. We went on trial for September 11th for an assault charge. We caught on September 11th. We beat the case. We got found not guilty. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushai. The cop that lied on the stand about us, he got shot in the face and killed. Most High judged him. All praises. Because he came to the trial and lied on the stand, and the Most High killed him. But we've been through prisons, man. You know, I haven't been locked up because I'm a little older and wiser now, a little grayer. So I know how to avoid a lot of conflict now when I'm out there teaching. Back then, we was young and wild, and as soon as somebody threatened or said something slick, they got punched in their mouth. Not to boast or brag on it, but that's just how we were. And I was the leader of the camp. Me and another brother by the name of Bonloya, rest in peace, Bonloya, he passed away. But we were the main speakers a lot of times, so we would rile the demons up and get everybody angry. And, you know, I'm the littlest dude in the camp. You know, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds soaking wet, 5'6", 5'7", 150 soaking wet. They like, if anything, we could beat this little nigga's ass. He talking all this crap, we could beat his ass. But the brothers were around me were always bigger, and they would protect their camp leader. I wasn't an elder back then, goddammit. I was only 30 years old. But, you know, I ain't say an elder. But my point being, I say all that to say, no folly, that we got into a lot of fights and confrontations back then because we were younger and more feisty, and we just would cut, and people's spirit would get cut, and they would say, listen, if anything, I can beat them up. I can't come back at nothing in the Bible or common sense or history. I can beat them up because he hurt my spirit. And they would try to attack, and they would get dealt with. So we would be seen as the aggressors a lot of times, even though even people in the crowd would say, no, they attacked them and they defended themselves. But my point being, you can get locked up for this word. In these last days, we can get locked up in CIA, government, Illuminati prisons for treason and speaking against this kingdom, you know, to be persecuted for this word's sake. All right, but it says in prisons more frequent, meaning Paul said, I got locked up many times more than some of y'all other disciples. In death's off, in other words, in peril of death, meaning what Paul is saying, a lot of times he was in life or death situations. That's what he's talking when it says in death's off. It said, of the Jews 5 times received our 40 stripes, save 1. So he said, look, man, I got about, what he said, 5 times, save 1. You know, he said, look, I got like up to 160 to almost 200 damn stripes from you Jews, if my math is right. Yeah, 4 times 5 is 200. 40 times 5 is 200. Yeah. Look, 160 to damn 200 stripes I got from you Jews, man. All right. It says, thrice was I beaten with rods. Paul was just beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. So look, in 24 hours I was stuck at sea. All right. The deep means out in the deep sea. Like that movie Deep Blue Sea. Paul said, I was stuck out in the sea for a day. He said, beaten with rods, stoned, shipwrecked. And Paul is saying he lived through all of this. He's still alive to talk about all this in Corinthians. I mean, his letter he sent into the Corinthians. In journeyings often, because Paul had his missionary journeys. All right, they got different maps with Paul's different missionary journeys. All right. In perils of waters. In perils of robbers, you know, stick 'em kids trying to get me. All right. In perils of waters, perils of drowning. In perils of my own countrymen. Other Israelites want to kill me, want to get at me. In perils by heathen. The heathens want to get me, of course. In perils in the city. Different cities I traveled to. That's Paul. That's one of the disciples of Christ. And remember, people want to kill Paul because he converted. They was like, wait a minute, you was helping us kill Christians before. Now you converted and you're a Christian, so-called. You're a follower of Christ also? You was helping us to kill them followers of Christ at one time. Prior to Acts the 9th chapter, Paul was persecuting the church. All right, so it says, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea. Everywhere I went, I was in danger. All right, in perils among false brethren. Check that out. Snakes in the grass. I don't know if any of y'all remember my Facebook. Earlier this summer, I said, okay, it's midsummer. It's time to cut the grass so the snakes can be revealed. The Spirit made me say that before all them attacks came at us. And I'm not talking about the people that came against us, attacked us, or felt they had to expose HOI or whatever. They are who they are. I'm talking about the people that was waiting to hear something negative about us. I'm talking about the people that rushed to judgment and didn't hear our side of the story. Still didn't hear our side of the story. Because we got our stuff in the cut. We just sitting back. We want to see who was going to be who. Right? Loyalty breeds royalty. Like 50 Cent said. Right? How deep is our bond if that's all it takes for you to be gone? All right. If you didn't come to me as a brother and say, well, let me hear your side. Is this true? Is that true? You rushed to judgment and you just believed it. So that shows me who you are. That's why we said, no. Don't say nothing. We're not going to say nothing yet. Wait. Let's see the reaction. Let's see who's who. Let's see who hated us on a low anyway. Let's see who was a snake anyway. Let's see who really don't have no loyalty. Let's see who's quick to rush to judgment. Let's see who's gonna be by your side through the thick and thin. Even if you're wrong, you check the hell out of me, you pray for me to get better, and you continue to stand by my side. Let's see. That's what he said. No, don't say nothing. Let it all go out there. Let it all go out there. Who gonna believe it, gonna believe it. who not. That's what this atonement is about also. Oh yeah, we had our meetings in secret. You think HOI, we just came up and said, yeah, we just gonna do this work, to hell with it. Nah, we was in the cut. Y'all wasn't there. And the first thing we had to acknowledge was, let's get us right so we don't have to deal with this again in the future. Or if whatever is said, make sure it's a lie. Brother, you got to do better on that. Brother, whatever. That's a total lie. But people going to believe it because they love sensationalism. They love movies. They love theatrics and theater. And it's so nice. So believe it. All right? Run with it. You're showing us who you really are. All right? Shalom. It's all love. It's all love. Shalom. All right? But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. So it says, in perils amongst false brethren. When you go through adversity, the Most High will show you who's for you. When the chips are down, when you're at your lowest point, whoever's there to lift you up. I'm not talking about respect the persons. I'm talking about those that give you the tough love, but still help to bring you back up. That's who the Most High got in your corner. Everybody else, they can kick goddamn rocks because they just run with the narrative and they didn't have no loyalty in the first place. That's what this Day of Atonement is about also. Y'all better incorporate all these different spirits into this thing. You better find out when you fast and pray, ask who's false brethren and sistren amongst you. Who's loyal, who's real, who's going to ride with you through thick and thin. I'm not talking about nobody to have respect. The person's just, you do whatever, they just, no. If you way off as hell and they got to separate themselves, that's understandable. All right, but see who's a rider also. Incorporate the spirit of endurance with your brothers and sisters into this Day of Atonement. And I digress. Back to our regular scheduled program in Salakia. All right. So it says, in perils, in danger of false brethren. Because if you got somebody by your side that ain't really down for the program, they ain't going to mean you no good. Or at the first sign of trouble, they're ghosts. You can't depend on them. So somebody that's not reliable, how you going to have them in your circle or your corner? Then the first sign of trouble, brother, you gone. The first sign of trouble, sister, you gone. Now, like I said, I'm not talking about continued patterns of behavior and people just get turned off and they got to move on. In a situation like that, you got to be humble because you got to understand, listen, I caused this person to feel the way they feel. Let me humble myself. Let me ask them for forgiveness, even though I know they got to move on. And Lord, let me learn from this situation and not do that to the next brother or sister. But this person is already offended. They're already gone. So you gotta eat that. You gotta understand that. So incorporate all this into this Day of Atonement, family. All right? And all Day of Atonements. Verse 27. In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fastings often. 2 Corinthians 11:27, Paul said fastings often. A lot of y'all barely want to fast the Day of Atonement. You have a heart attack, a conniption fit. Oh, you got to fast. Oh, I'm not used to fasting, elder. Don't come talking to me. You better talk to the Most High. Come to me when it's order needed in the camp for direction, for what we got to do as a body. Don't come to me like I'm the Most High and Yahweh. No, you better talk to them. Why we got to fast for I can tell you, but you better talk to the Lord. But Paul said here in fastings often. So you got to get, in other words, Paul is saying get used to fasting on a regular basis, meaning often. All right. Everybody know what often means. If you don't, damn it, look it up. We ain't got to do it right now. It says in cold and nakedness, meaning in sufferings. All right. So Paul is letting you know right here, a lot of y'all boo-hoo crazy, you gotta fast. Oh, you gotta fast. But listen, Paul said, get used to fastings often, not just on the Day of Atonement. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. You know, whatever. HOI, we got a weekly fast that we do. Not to boast and brag, but it's just something we incorporated since the summer. And I'm going to say this as a side note real quick. A lot of what HOI went through throughout this past couple of months was because we called a major fast for the camp. All right, I'm going to let y'all in on this, all right? Salakia to any of the brothers and sisters. I let the cat out the bag, Salakia. But if we, everybody in the camp knew about it, but we call the major fast of the camp. And on that fast, we ask the Most High to reveal certain things and get rid of the leaven and make us better, and reveal certain things and reveal who's not meant to be here. See, this thing goes deep, this thing goes deep. So we ask, that's why a lot of what we went through, and we're now finally getting to that threshold that we got to cross. Okay, now this is what we got to look out for. This is what we got to nip in the bud. This is what we got to make better. But we called for that as a body, and stuff just start, the Most High just start working, moving. Bow, 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 bow. So that's the power of that fastings and fastings often. And we said we need to do this on a regular basis for the body's sake. Not for bragging, boasting rights. It is what it is. All right. Go from there to Luke. We almost done. We got a couple more. This is just your pre-day of atonement preparation. Getting in the spirit of the Most High of Mashiach Yahushua. Luke chapter 2. And we're going to start at 36. Sister Anna. Luke 2:36. All right. And it reads, and there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with an husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served Yahweh with fastings and prayers night and day. This is a sister right here. Who does this sound like? Judith. Read Judith, the 8th chapter, verses 1 through 6. And you can link that up with Luke 2:36 and 37. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Judith 8, 1 through 6 with Luke chapter 2, verse 36 and 37. These were women that were heavily into fasting. Night and day, it said. Fastings, plural. So some of y'all big grown men, you're damn weeping and whining about the Day of Atonement. But here we have sisters, elder sisters in the scriptures that continually fasted before the Most High and prayed. So get into those fastings often. All right, it says, but serve Yahweh with fastings and prayers night and day. And you can also link that, Luke 2:37, you can link that with Tobit 12 and 8, with that prayer and fasting dynamic. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Soppers in the building. HOI East Coast. Kwame Shalom. All right, so here's Sister Anna, an Asherite, a northern kingdom that was worshiping amongst the southern kingdom. And she served the Most High with prayers and fastings day and night. Fastings, plural. But some of you big grown brothers, man, big muscle-bound brothers, got muscles in your teeth, make me look like a midget. 3, 4, 5 times bigger than me, 7 times bigger than me. You complaining about, oh, I got more body mass, so I'm fasting. Brother, it's the Lord's Day of Atonement. Yeah, Sister Hannah laughing, right? Make me look like a shrimp standing next to you. You reading for me, I look like a midget. And you complain about, I got more body mass, Elder. I'm saying, I'll be in the gym 5 days a week. You'll go all these muscles, man. I don't know. I need my nutrients. Brother, the Most High said fast and get them damn sins off you. Get that lust off of you. I know you was looking at the women in that gym. And some of them might have been married. Even though they shouldn't be in that gym, dressed like that, working out. Sisters can work out and still be discreet, but get that lust off you, brother. Because you're a man. I know you was in that gym and you was working out and you was working your eyes out while Eve was working out. So get that lust off you. And her man probably picked up at the gym and said, baby, you had a good workout? Right? And those men were staring at that behind as it was getting in shape. We keep it real here. We grown. So you got to get them sins off you. No folly, though. No folly. I'm just saying. I'm just having a little fun with it, y'all. No folly. But from there, that was Luke 2:36, 37. From there, let's go to 2 Corinthians 6 and 5. We're going to go to 2 Corinthians 6 and 5. All right. Are y'all enjoying this Day of Atonement warm-up? If y'all are, everybody give me a con 777. If you learn one thing today, give me a con 777. All right? Oh, damn, I've been on here for a while. Okay, I got to get out of here. Not like that, y'all, but, you know, got to do some things with the rest of my day. Salakia. 2 Corinthians 6 and 5, I think it is. Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Let me, 3. We're going to start at 3 just to get to the point. Y'all can start at 1 on your own. 2 Corinthians 6 and 3. We're going to read verses 3 and 5. Yeah, just to get to the point. All right. 2 Corinthians 6, 3 through 5. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So, man, this thing goes on and on into many layers. Incorporate that into this Day of Atonement. All right. Salakia, something fell. That is. Incorporate that into this Day of Atonement. Right? Meaning what? What? You don't want to give no offense that the ministry be blamed. Meaning you, brothers and sisters, when you atone, you want to get your spirit, your mind, your behavior, your activity better. So that you don't give no offense, because what people are going to say? You're supposed to be an Israelite. You're supposed to be a man of the Bible. You're supposed to be a woman of the Bible. You're supposed to be about scriptures. You're supposed to be about God and Jesus Christ, right? And you out there doing whatever. I don't know. I don't have to get into it, whatever. You don't want the ministry to be blamed. I seen an Israelite doing this. Oh, you supposed to be an Israelite in that truth and that Bible, Jesus Christ stuff, and you doing that? You don't want to give no offense that the gospel don't be blamed. All right? It says, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings. So Paul said, look, what are the ways that we approve our ministry to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai is by fastings, plural. So I say all that, these last 3, I think it was 3, yeah, last 3 scriptures. These last 3 scriptures is to encourage you that what? You should not only want to be fasting on the Day of Atonement, you should be getting into fastings, plural, on a regular basis. Now, like I said, once a week, once every 2 weeks, go at your own pace, whatever you can handle. Whatever you can handle, go at your own pace. But you should, even if you start with once a month, even if you start with half a day, some of y'all might have to build up to fast. Oh my goodness, to go 24 hours without food and water, it might kill you. But you better do it you better do it this Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. Most I ain't trying to hear that. But let's say you do the Day of Atonement, you make it through that, and you start to fast throughout the other days going forward. You practice it and you get into the spirit of it slowly but surely. Let's say you might start off with 4 hours one day. Start off with 6 hours, 12 hours, then 16 hours. Then you go on, then you do a whole day. But you got to get into the habit of fasting. So the scriptures, these last 3 scriptures I brought out is about fasting more than just the Day of Atonement. That's why I brought out the plural scriptures that talk about fasting in the plural, fastings. You have to get into that spirit as well, all right, on a regular basis. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. One more. Let me see what I want. Let's go to Apocrypha. Yeah, let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to Sirach. Chapter 30. Let me see what I want. Let me see what I want. I want to read another one real quick, but that's okay. What I want to get, we haven't really gone into the Apocrypha, so let me get 1 or 2 in here. Let's go to Sirach 3 and 30. All right, yeah, Sirach chapter 3 and verse 30 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 3 and 30. It says, water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh an atonement for sins. So how can you atone for sins? Also by doing alms to your nation. You know, alms, good deeds. It don't always have to be money. It can just be good deeds, all right? Alms, or helping out a brother that's less fortunate. Yo, I can't give you no money, but I could bring you some food, all right? You know, I can't give you a ride, but I can give you some money for an Uber. Whatever, you know, I can get you an Uber, whatever. All right, it can be any type of charitable or good works toward your fellow brother or sister. The Most High is letting us know that can be an atonement for sins also. All right, that can be atonement for sins also. All right, so from there, and these are all, just remember, these are all other aspects that you should incorporate during this Day of Atonement. It's not just about, okay, I'm going to just sit, I'm going to just fast, ask the Most High for forgiveness, and try to be better for the next year. Yes, that's the foundation of it. But there's many other layers and different things to incorporate and put yourself in that mind frame for this Day of Atonement. If everybody understands it, give me a con 777. All right. From there, we're going to go to Sirach 34. Ecclesiasticus 34, verse 25 and 26. And that'll be my last scripture on this. All right. On this prep lesson. All right. Day of Atonement preparation. All this study throughout the day, tonight, tomorrow morning, into sundown tomorrow. This is all prepping your mind and yourself for the Day of Atonement. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 34 and 25. He that washeth himself after the touching of a dead body, if he touch it again, what availeth his washing? See that? So the Lord is saying, like, you wash yourself up after you touch a dead body. You still unclean for that 7 days, but you washed, you cleansed. Why would you go back and touch the dead body again? All right. Or let's say you wash yourself after the 7 day, after the you touch the dead body, and your 7 days of uncleanness is over. Right? Now your whole 7 days is over. Right? Why would you go back and touch that dead body to be unclean 7 more days? That don't make any sense. So the Lord said what? Ecclesiasticus Sirach 34:25. He that washeth himself after the touching of a dead body, if he touch it again, what availeth his washing? So is it with the man that fasteth for his sins on a Day of Atonement or any time, all right, and goeth again and doeth the same. Who will hear his prayer, or what doeth his humbling profit him? Because fasting is also known as humbling your soul. Okay, it's also known as humbling your soul. All right. So, like Matafi was said, what is the purpose? What was the purpose of you even cleansing yourself, going through the 7 days of uncleanness, only for you on the 8th day to go and touch the dead body again? Now you unclean another 7 days. All right. Or what is it worth you praying and fasting for your sins, and then after tomorrow, after Tuesday sundown, you're going to be the same nigger or niggerette. Excuse me, I got to say it that way for emphasis, Israel. Salaki if you're offended by the N-word. Shalom, your guy. All right. H.O.I. in the building. So what's the purpose? All right. So the whole purpose of the Day of Atonement, if you heard anything I said in this time I've been on here, the whole purpose of the Day of Atonement is to get better. When you know better, you try to incorporate and do better. And that's that, you know what I'm saying? Drop the mic. No, it's like, yeah. But that's it. It's saying what it's saying. All right. So if you doing this Day of Atonement, tomorrow, Monday, sundown into Tuesday, sundown, keep these things in mind, Israel. All right. Because everything I brought out is through the Spirit. This is not what I said. This is thus saith the Lord. I'm just a messenger. But go back over this lesson and incorporate everything I said concerning the Day of Atonement and these things that we need to implement and our mind frame should be in as we go into this Day of Atonement sundown tomorrow. All right, so that's it, Israel. Short and to the point. I said I won't be on here too long. about an hour and a half lesson. Y'all can go back over it 1 or 2 times. You know, before tomorrow's sundown, at least try to watch it again before tomorrow's sundown, so you can be in that spirit when the sun go down. And tomorrow we will be live for the Day of Atonement at sundown. But HOI in different other states, they'll be live. But I'm on West Coast time, so I'll be live about 8 p.m., which is 11 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. Central time, 9 p.m. Mountain time, and of course 8 p.m. West Coast time. So, Khan, ha-adam, kwam yashala. Khan, Khan, Matafa, well, yeah, Khan, to just translate what the scriptures say in layman's terms. Khan. So, everybody get in the spirit, man. Get in the spirit for sundown tomorrow to sundown Tuesday to do this atonement. All right, everybody get in the spirit. And incorporate these scriptures into your repertoire. And tomorrow's sundown will go into more deeper into explaining the actual Day of Atonement itself. Not feast. All right, the holy day, the fast day, the holy day of fasting. All right, Khan Allah, all praises. So yeah, incorporate this, and like I said, tomorrow we'll go more into the actual holy day of the Day of Atonement, the law. But today was more about the other aspects that you have to be mindful of. All right, Shalom Khan. Be mindful of and put your mind, put your spirit into these type of thoughts for this Day of Atonement also. All right, that's what I want to say. All right, Israel. So, Kwam Yashala, we still got next. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, forever and ever. Amen. Once again, hope y'all enjoyed this lesson. If y'all learned one thing, I've done my job through the spirit of the Most High, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Also, remember, I'm going to come back later tonight with a separate video for the announcing of the Feast of Tabernacles. And what we doing out here on the West Coast in LA, what HOI Georgia is doing in the South, HOI Philly, New York, New Jersey, Vegas, and the different parts of the country, Midwest, what they'll be doing, and where you can congregate for the Feast of Tabernacles. That'll be, I'll do that video later on this evening, the announcement video. All right, we're about a week away from the Feast of Tabernacles. It's next Saturday, October 8th at even. So we're about a week away. We want to get everybody into the spirit of that. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. That was about what, maybe 12 scriptures, 13 scriptures. All right, for the 12 disciples plus 1, Yahweh Shai. All right, the 12 tribes plus 1, our sister Dinah. All right, the 12 sons of Jacob plus 1 sister. But anyway, no folly. But anyway, hope everybody got some out of that lesson. Like I said, once again, if you learn one thing, I've done my job, and incorporate this spirit into the Day of Atonement for tomorrow's sundown. All them different attributes and layers that I gave you concerning this feast day. I mean, this fast day, this Day of Atonement, this high holy day. All right. So that's it, Israel. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Priest Zabach, HOI to the chariots fly. All praises to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai forever and ever. Amen. All the camps in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai forever and ever. Amen. Kwam Yashala, we still got next. Hallelujah. Bring it out. HOI pull up, boys. HOI to the chariots fly forever and ever. Amen. B'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Thawadah, 𝐤𝐄𝐄. Amen. Kwam Yashala. Shalom. Khan. Ashar Yawam Kapayam. Happy Day of Atonement 2022. By Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalom.